should have seen the signs. Looking back now, they were all there. The late nights, the hushed phone calls, the sudden obsession with me time. But when you've been married for 10 years, you learn to ignore the little things. Not because you're stupid, but because you trust. And I trusted Lisa. It was her birthday, and I had everything planned out. Dinner reservations at that fancy steakhouse she always bugged me about. A bottle of wine older than our marriage, and a pair of earrings that cost more than my first car. Perfect night, until I walked into the garage. See, I wasn't even supposed to be in there. The plan was simple. Grab the gift from my trunk, head back inside, and act like I wasn't sweating bullets over whether she'd like white gold or yellow gold. But life had other plans. Because as soon as I stepped into the dimly lit garage, something moved. I froze. For a second, I thought maybe I was seeing things. Maybe it was just a shadow, a trick of the light. But then I heard it. A quick shuffle, a muffled curse, and then the unmistakable sound of someone holding their breath. Every hair on my body stood on end. "Who's there?" I called out, my voice sharper than I expected. Silence. Then, before my brain could process what the hell was happening, a man, yes, a full-grown, living, breathing man, came stumbling out from behind my damn tool shelf. "Shit, dude," he started, hands raised like I had a gun or something. My world tilted. I didn't recognize him at first, and why the hell would I? What sane person expects a random dude to be hiding in their garage on their wife's birthday? My stomach clenched. The garage light flickered, catching his face, and my breath hitched. He wasn't just some stranger. I knew him, and just like that, everything snapped into place. The late nights, the secret calls, the sudden disinterest in me, in us. "What the fuck?" I started. But before I could even form a sentence, I heard the front door open. Lisa's voice rang out. "Babe? You out there?" Shit. I turned back to him, fists clenched, rage thrumming through my veins. He looked at me, eyes wide, silently begging me not to say anything. And that's when I knew whatever was going on, this motherfucker wasn't just here by accident. Lisa was home, and in exactly 3 seconds, she was going to walk in here and see me standing face to face with her secret. A secret I wasn't supposed to find. Lisa was seconds away from walking into the garage, and I was standing there, face to face with a man who had no business being in my house. I had 2 choices. Play it cool and wait for the truth to unravel, or lose my goddamn mind and rearrange this guy's face before she even got the chance to lie to me. Guess which one I picked? "Babe." Lisa's voice was closer now, footsteps clicking against the concrete as she approached the door leading to the garage. The dude in front of me, this sorry, trembling bastard, shook his head frantically, begging, pleading. I didn't even know his name yet, but I knew one thing: he was guilty. And I was done playing the fool. The second the garage door creaked open, I swung. My fist connected with his jaw so hard I felt the bones shift beneath my knuckles. A dull, sickening crunch followed as he crumpled to the ground, groaning in pain. "Jesus Christ, Jack." Lisa stood in the doorway, frozen. Her perfectly curled hair, the stupid birthday dress I bought her last year, that shocked expression on her face like she wasn't expecting this, like she actually thought she'd get away with it. "Who the fuck is this, Lisa?" I demanded, shaking out my sore knuckles. "And why the hell was he hiding in our garage?" She didn't answer right away. Her eyes darted from me to the guy on the ground, who was spitting blood onto my concrete floor. "Lisa," I growled, stepping toward her. Finally, she spoke. It's not what you think." I let out a bitter laugh. That line. The classic, the Hall of Fame excuse of cheaters everywhere. "Oh? Then please enlighten me. Because I just walked into my garage and found this asshole." I pointed at him, hiding behind my damn tool shelf like a raccoon digging through the trash. Lisa hesitated. Too long. That's when I knew she was about to say some bullshit. "Jack, please, just calm down." Oh, she was stalling, trying to come up with some pathetic excuse. "Oh, I'm calm, Lisa," I said, dangerously steady. "I'm so fucking calm. I think I'll ask again. Who is he?" The dude coughed, shifting slightly, still groaning from the punch. And then, finally, he spoke. I work with her, he choked out. Work. With her. I narrowed my eyes. You work with her? Lisa jumped in quickly. Yes, he does. His name is, she swallowed. Aaron. He's from my office. I stared at her, not blinking. She was lying. I knew it. She knew it. And the best part? She had no fucking clue that I already knew exactly who this piece of shit was. And soon, she was going to wish she never came home. Aaron. Lisa spat out his name like she had just thought of it on the spot. The guy, still groaning on my garage floor, one hand clutching his jaw like I'd broken something important, didn't correct her. Because, of course, he fucking couldn't. Because his name wasn't Aaron. I knew exactly who this bastard was. And Lisa had no clue that I knew. I took a slow, deep breath, staring at my lying-ass wife, then down at the bloody-mouthed intruder at my feet. This was a test. She had one shot to tell me the truth. And instead, she chose to dig herself a grave. Aaron from your office, huh? I repeated, voice dangerously calm. That's funny. Because I swear to God, I thought your boss's name was Greg. Boom. Just like that, her face drained of all color. And there it was. The truth, flashing across her face before she could stop it. I felt it then. That cold, sharp click in my brain. Like everything finally locked into place. My wife was fucking her boss. And her boss was currently bleeding all over my goddamn garage. Lisa tried to recover, shaking her head too quickly. Jack, just listen, okay? I can explain. Explain what? I asked, stepping closer. Explain why this piece of shit was hiding in my garage? Explain why the fuck he's in our house. On your birthday, no less. I looked down at Greg. Or maybe he'd like to explain? Greg. Miserable, pathetic Greg. Held up a hand weakly. Look, man. I kicked him in the ribs. Not too hard. Just enough to make him shut the fuck up. Don't, I warned. I swear to God, if you call me man one more time, I will rearrange your fucking face. Lisa screamed. Jack, stop. But I wasn't listening to her anymore. I was so far past listening. Because I knew, deep in my bones, this wasn't the first time. This wasn't some random mistake. No, this was deliberate. This was planned. This motherfucker had been in my house. Had touched my wife. And worst of all, they thought I was too fucking stupid to find out. How long, Lisa? I asked, my voice eerily calm. She blinked. What? How? Long. She hesitated. Too long. And then she whispered. 6 months. 6 months. Half a year. While I kissed her goodnight. While I made her breakfast. While I planned her stupid fucking birthday. I inhaled sharply, my pulse thundering. You're fucking joking. She wasn't. And that's when the front doorbell rang. Lisa's head snapped toward the sound. Greg groaned from the floor. And me? I smiled. Because I already knew who it was. And trust me, this night was just getting started. The doorbell rang again. Lisa flinched. Greg, still wheezing on my garage floor, tried to sit up, but I shot him a glare that told him if he moved 1 more inch, I'd be feeding him his own teeth. Jack, please? Lisa whispered, voice trembling. Don't answer it. Now she was scared. Good. I wiped the blood from my knuckles on my jeans and took my sweet-ass time walking to the door. Behind me, Lisa was whispering frantic, get up. Greg. Get the fuck up, under her breath. But Greg wasn't going anywhere. Not unless he wanted me to make him part of the garage floor. The doorbell rang a 3rd time. I grinned. Right on schedule. With one final glance at my wife, the woman who had spent 6 months sneaking around, thinking I'd never catch on, I yanked the door open. And there stood Greg's wife. And his 3 kids. Boom. Lisa made a choking sound behind me. Greg, still on the floor, let out a pathetic-ass whimper. And me? I just leaned against the doorframe like I hadn't just rearranged her husband's jaw in my garage. Hey, Michelle, I greeted smoothly. Right on time. She didn't even blink. Where is he? I stepped aside, gesturing toward the absolute train wreck behind me. Take a wild guess. Michelle took one look at her half-conscious, bloody-faced husband, then turned her dead-eyed stare back to Lisa. Lisa, who looked like she wanted the earth to open up and swallow her whole. I wish I could say I felt bad for throwing her to the wolves, but I didn't. So, Michelle said, crossing her arms. This is where you've been fucking my husband? Lisa's face crumpled. Greg, dumbass Greg, tried to sit up and speak. Michelle, But Michelle wasn't listening. Instead, she turned to her kids. Say hi to daddy, boys. And, just like that, Greg's own 3 kids looked down at him, curled up on the floor like a pathetic, cheating coward. One of them, the oldest, maybe 14, spit on the ground near him. You're disgusting, the kid muttered. Mom, can we go now? Lisa squeaked. Greg looked like he was about to start sobbing. And me? I laughed. Right in Lisa's fucking face. Because she deserved this. Every second of it. Michelle shot me a look. You done with him? I smirked. Oh, absolutely. You want him? She smiled, a sharp, satisfied smile. Nope. Just wanted the kids to see him like this before I finished divorcing his ass. Then she turned on her heel, her 3 kids in tow, and walked back to her car. Greg tried to go after them. Tried to stand up. I put a boot on his chest and shoved him back down. Stay the fuck down, Greg. Lisa finally snapped. Jack. Stop it. This isn't funny. Oh, I think it's hilarious, Lisa. And then, because karma is a beautiful, poetic bitch, the neighbors started coming outside. Mrs. Holland from across the street. Mr. Bryant next door. Even fucking Todd from 2 houses down. Still in his damn bathrobe. All of them staring. Because Lisa's dirty little secret wasn't a secret anymore. And this was just the beginning. The second Michelle and the kids drove off, the neighborhood gossip mill fired up at full speed. Mrs. Holland, aka the human surveillance camera, was already whispering to Mr. Bryant. Todd from 2 houses down, still scratching his ass in his bathrobe, had his phone out, probably texting his wife, who was definitely spreading this all over Facebook. And Lisa was losing her fucking mind. Jack, get inside, she screeched, eyes darting between me, Greg, and the growing crowd. Now! But I wasn't done yet, because as much as Lisa thought this was rock bottom, oh sweetie, we were just getting started. Greg was still wheezing on the ground, probably regretting every single life decision that led him to this moment. Good. Lisa was desperately trying to salvage any dignity she had left, but it was slipping through her fingers faster than her wedding vows did. And then, oh man, then came the fucking police sirens. Boop-up, boop-up. Lisa's face drained of blood. Todd, bathrobe still flapping in the wind, took a step back. Mr. Bryant muttered a quiet, oh shit. And me? I smiled, because I already knew who called them. Michelle. Oh, she wasn't just here to publicly humiliate Greg. She was out for blood. And honestly, I loved that for her. The cop car pulled up fast, lights flashing. 2 officers stepped out. One older guy who looked like he'd seen it all, and another younger one who was probably rethinking his career choices right about now. Sir, the older officer said, eyeing Greg. We got a call about an assault? Lisa gasped. Assault? Jack, what the hell did you do? Greg, still groaning on the ground like a little bitch, tried to speak. He hit me. I laughed. Damn right I did. Lisa grabbed my arm. Jack, are you insane? You're going to get arrested. The younger cop looked uncomfortable. Sir, is this true? Did you physically assault him? I tilted my head, pretending to think. Define assault. The older cop sighed. Did you punch him? Maybe. Lisa shrieked. Maybe. Jack, that's a yes. Greg, grasping for his last remaining brain cell, pointed at me. See. Arrest him. The cop turned to me again. All right, sir. You're gonna have to. But before he could finish, Michelle's car screeched back into the driveway. Oh, here we fucking go. Michelle stormed out, eyes blazing. Oh and oh. Oh fucking oh. She marched straight up to the cops, pointing at Greg like he was a rat who just crawled out of the sewer. "You're arresting him? Oh, you better turn that shit around, officer, because my husband was trespassing on this man's property." The officers hesitated. "Wait, trespassing?" the younger cop asked. Michelle threw her hands up. "Yes, trespassing. This slimy piece of shit was hiding in Jack's garage like a goddamn crackhead. Jack walked in and found him sneaking around like a thief. You tell me who the real criminal is here." The officers looked at each other. Lisa sputtered. That's not true." Michelle whipped around. "Oh, do shut the fuck up, Lisa." Lisa literally took a step back. Michelle was on fire. Greg? Silent. Absolutely fucking silent. And the officers? Now they were looking at Greg like he was the actual suspect. "Sir," the older cop said, turning to Greg, "do you have a reason for being in this man's garage without his permission?" Greg looked at Lisa. Lisa looked at Greg. And then, like the absolute dumbass that he is, Greg opened his mouth. I was just waiting for her birthday surprise." The entire street went dead silent. Even Todd, who had been eating an actual bowl of cereal during this mess, paused mid-spoonful. Lisa closed her eyes like she was about to be sick. "Michelle?" Oh, Michelle fucking howled. "OH, ain't that some shit?" She laughed. "A surprise. The only surprise is that your stupid ass thought you wouldn't get caught." Greg was panicking now. I mean, it's not like that. But the cops were officially over it. The older officer sighed and looked at me. "You want to press charges for trespassing?" I looked at Greg, this pathetic, cheating little worm. Then I looked at Lisa, who had tears in her eyes, probably realizing that her perfect little secret had been completely fucking nuked. And I smiled. "Oh, hell yes, officer. I want to press all the charges." Lisa let out a broken sob. "Jack, no." The officers didn't hesitate. Greg, still trying to plead for his miserable life, barely had time to react before the cuffs snapped around his wrists. "You have the right to remain silent," the officer started. And that's when Lisa fucking fainted. Like a goddamn Victorian woman in a corset too tight. Just collapsed right there in the driveway. The neighbors? Oh, they ate that shit up. Mrs. Holland gasped dramatically. Todd. Yes, still in his fucking bathrobe. Muttered, "Damn, what an ending." And me? I just watched Greg get shoved into the cop car and took a deep breath of the fresh, cheater-free air.
Lisa.
Well, she'd wake up soon enough. And when she did, she'd have a whole new nightmare waiting for her. Because guess what? Her parents were on their way. And trust me, they had no idea what they were about to walk into. Lisa came to with a dramatic-ass gasp, like she was in some shitty soap opera. "Jack?" she croaked, clutching her head. What happened?" I smirked. "Oh, nothing much, sweetheart. You just fainted while your boyfriend got cuffed in our driveway. No big deal." Her eyes widened, and she whipped her head toward the flashing cop car lights, where Greg was being stuffed into the back seat like the human garbage he was. And then she burst into hysterical tears. "Oh my God, Jack, why would you do this?" "Oh hell no," I laughed in her face. "Are you fucking serious right now? You did this, Lisa. You and your pathetic side piece." Lisa screamed into her hands, her whole body shaking with ugly sobs. And right when I thought this disaster of a night couldn't get any better, a sleek black SUV came screeching into the driveway. Lisa's parents had arrived. Oh, this was about to be good. The second the car door swung open, out stepped Richard and Diane Monroe, aka the in-laws from hell. Lisa's rich-ass parents. Lisa's snotty-ass country club. Our daughter can do no wrong parents. Lisa's parents who still thought I was some blue-collar nobody unworthy of their perfect little princess. And right now, they had absolutely no idea they were walking into their daughter's public execution. "What the hell is going on?" Richard barked, stepping onto the driveway like he was about to buy the whole damn neighborhood. Diane gasped when she saw Lisa, half crumpled on the ground, sobbing like her life was over. "Oh my baby!" Diane cried, rushing toward her. "What happened? Who did this to you?" I snorted. I'll give you 3 guesses, Diane, and the first 2 don't count. Lisa hiccuped, looking up at her parents with those big, manipulative doe eyes she always used to get her way. Mom, Dad, Jack is ruining my life. Diane gasped like I had just thrown Lisa into oncoming traffic. What, Jack? How dare you? Oh, I fucking dared. I crossed my arms. All right, Diane, let me break it down for you. Your daughter has been fucking her boss behind my back for 6 months. That boss was hiding in our garage like a cockroach. I punched him in the face. The cops just arrested him for trespassing. And now, your cheating-ass daughter is having a full-blown mental breakdown in the driveway while the entire neighborhood watches. Diane's jaw dropped. Richard? Oh, he turned straight up purple.
Lisa.
His voice came out dangerously low. Tell me this is a goddamn lie. Lisa started hyperventilating. Dad, it's not like that. Oh, really? Michelle shouted from the side. 'Cause it looks exactly like that to me. Lisa let out a strangled scream, like this was somehow my fault, then turned back to her parents. Please believe me. I love Jack. I burst out laughing. Oh, don't even try that bullshit. Diane whirled around on me. Jack, how dare you speak to her that way? Oh, here we go. Diane, I said. I dare because your daughter spent the last 6 months getting railed by her boss, while I was out here planning her birthday. So yeah, I think I earned the right to speak to her however the fuck I want. Richard was fuming.
Lisa.
Answer the question. Lisa let out a choked sob. And then, she admitted it. I'm sorry, she wailed. I made a mistake. Richard's face went completely blank. Diane? Oh, she clutched her pearls like a goddamn movie villain. Oh my God, she whispered. Lisa, how could you? Finally, some fucking accountability. But you want to know the best part? The real cherry on top of this absolute circus? Lisa didn't even know the worst part yet. I turned to Richard. Hey Dick, I got a question. Richard glared at me. It's Richard. Yeah, whatever, Dick. Tell me, how do you feel about Greg Allen? Richard's brows furrowed.
Greg Allen?
The guy from Mitchell Price and Allen Realty? I know of him, why? I smirked. Oh, because that's the guy your daughter's been fucking. And just like that, Richard's entire demeanor snapped. You've been sleeping with Greg Allen? He roared. Lisa's face completely collapsed. Diane gasped so hard I thought she might pass out. Oh no. Lisa, you idiot. 'Cause guess what?
Greg Allen?
Yeah. Greg Allen was one of Richard's biggest business rivals. And Lisa had just burned her family's legacy to the fucking ground. Lisa's sobs turned into full-on screaming. Her parents were losing their shit. Her boyfriend was in the back of a police car. Her entire neighborhood was watching her downfall like it was the fucking Super Bowl. And me? I was just enjoying the spectacle. Because Lisa thought she had problems before? Oh, sweetie. She just torched her entire goddamn legacy.
Greg Allen.
You screwed that slimy son of a bitch. Richard bellowed, veins bulging out of his neck like he was 2 seconds from a stroke. Lisa snot cried into her hands. D-Daddy, I didn't mean. Don't you daddy me. Richard roared. Do you even know what you've done? Do you have any idea? Diane was hyperventilating, pacing in the driveway like her pearls were about to choke her to death. Lisa, sweetie. Oh my God, you don't understand. She babbled. Greg Allen he's... Oh, Jesus Christ. Richard, she's ruined everything. Lisa looked genuinely confused. Which just proved what I'd always known. She was fucking stupid. What do you mean? She stammered. Greg is just... Richard whipped around, eyes blazing. Greg is my biggest fucking competitor. You brainless little... I grinned. See, Richard Monroe wasn't just some rich asshole, he was a major real estate mogul. His company, Monroe Luxury Estates. His biggest rival? Mitchell Price and Allen, aka Greg Allen's company. And Lisa, in her infinite dumbassery, just handed their enemy a nuclear bomb. Diane clutched her chest. You don't get it, Lisa. Do you have any idea what Greg is going to do with this? Lisa sniffled, shaking her head like an idiot. Mom, what? Richard threw his hands in the air. He's going to use you to fucking ruin me. Oh, he was fuming. Dio, you think he screwed you because he loved you? He spat. Do you think he wanted you for anything other than destroying this family? Jesus Christ. Lisa. You just fed him our entire business on a fucking silver platter. Lisa gasped.
No.
No, Greg wouldn't. Lisa. You fucked a married man who hid in a garage. You think he wouldn't sell you out? She froze. Because that finally sank in. Lisa thought she was the main character in some forbidden romance. Nah, sweetie. You were a side chick in a business war. And now Greg Allen, the man she just sacrificed her marriage for, was about to turn around and throw her under the bus. And I was going to enjoy every goddamn second of it. Richard was pacing now, hands in his hair like he was physically restraining himself from wringing Lisa's neck. Diane was on the verge of a meltdown, whispering, "Oh God, oh God, oh God," over and over like she was speaking in tongues. Lisa just sat there, processing how hard she had just fucked up her life. And then, the cops walked back up. Lisa snapped her head up, her eyes lighting up with desperate hope. "Did you let him go?" she cried. "Please, tell me he's okay. I swear to God." Michelle almost punched her in the face right there. The cop ignored her, looking directly at me. "Sir," he said, "Greg Allen is requesting to speak to his wife. Says it's urgent." Oh, this was about to be good. Michelle? She fucking smirked. Well, she purred. Looks like Loverboy is panicking. Lisa scrambled to her feet. Can I talk to him too? Michelle laughed in her face. Oh, hell no, she snapped. You're gonna sit your stupid ass down and watch. Lisa looked like she was gonna cry again, but at this point nobody gave a single fuck. The cop nodded at Michelle. We can put you on speaker in the car. Perfect, she said sweetly. Let's see what my soon-to-be ex-husband has to say. And with that, she strutted toward the cop car like the baddest bitch alive. I grabbed my beer off the porch, because if Greg Allen was begging to talk to his wife, that meant he was about to betray Lisa. And I was here for it. Michelle slid into the cop car, calm as hell, while Lisa hovered like a dumbass moth to a flame, waiting for her knight in shining bullshit to fix everything. But I knew what was about to happen, because Greg wasn't calling to save Lisa. Greg was calling to save himself. The moment the call connected, Greg's panicked voice blasted through the speaker. Michelle, baby, please listen. Oh, this was already good. Michelle tilted her head, smirking. Oh, I thought I was a nagging bitch who didn't understand your needs. Greg stuttered. I didn't mean that. Baby, please, you have to help me. They're gonna book me for trespassing. I need you to talk to Jack. Lisa rushed toward the car. Greg, baby, I'm here. Oh no. Oh, no. This dumbass. Michelle slowly turned her head toward Lisa, her face dripping with pure hatred. Did you just call my husband baby? Lisa froze. And then, Greg fucking snapped. Lisa, shut the fuck up, he shouted. The entire driveway went silent.
Lisa.
Lisa looked like someone had just drop-kicked her soul out of her body. Greg was breathing hard, voice shaking. This is your fault, he spat. You were the one who told me to come over. You were the one who said Jack wouldn't be home yet. You said we wouldn't get caught. Oh, this was better than I ever could have imagined. Lisa flinched like she'd been slapped. Greg, what are you? Shut up, Lisa. He was screaming now. Do you know what you've done? I'm going to lose my fucking family. I'm going to lose my job. And now Richard Monroe wants to kill me. Richard, who had been suspiciously quiet this whole time, finally spoke. You're goddamn right, Alan. Greg went dead silent. Richard took one step forward. His face twisted into something that genuinely made me nervous. You think you can fuck my daughter and not suffer for it? He growled. Why, you don't understand, Greg stammered. Lisa. She came onto me. And just like that, he threw her directly under the fucking bus. Lisa choked. What? Greg was desperate now, scrambling for anything that could save his ass. She told me she wanted out of her marriage, he yelled. She said you and Jack were too boring, and she wanted someone fun. I didn't even want to do it at first. Lisa let out a horrified gasp. You're lying. Greg ignored her. She said she wanted to be with me. She said she didn't love Jack anymore. Fucking laughed. Lisa spun on me, face bright red. Jack. Don't believe him. He's just trying to save himself. Oh, I believe him, all right. I grinned. I believe him so much that I want the cops to keep him on that speaker so I can hear more. Lisa started sobbing. Please, Jack. Please. I still love you. I leaned in close, voice calm as hell.
Lisa.
Why, yes, she whimpered. Shut the fuck up. She let out a broken wail, but I was already turning back to the car. Greg, my guy, you were saying? Greg didn't hesitate. Lisa was going to leave you after her dad gave her another inheritance check, he blurted. She said she was just waiting for him to finalize some business deal. Then she'd divorce you and move in with me. Oh, this was new. I turned to Richard, who looked like he was about to explode into a million pieces. That true, Dick? I asked. Richard's hands curled into fists.
Lisa,
he said slowly. Did you plan to steal from me? Lisa was shaking so hard, I thought she might collapse again. And no, Dad, I would never. Bullshit. Greg cut in. She said it, Richard. She told me she'd take you for another $500,000 before she left Jack. Richard's entire body stiffened. And then he pulled out his phone. Dad, what are you doing? Lisa whimpered. He didn't look up. Freezing your accounts. Lisa screamed.
No.
Daddy, please. Richard's face was like fucking stone. You are dead to me, Lisa. Boom. Just like that. Lisa collapsed onto the pavement, gasping like someone had ripped her lungs out of her body. Greg, completely silent. Diane didn't even try to stop Richard. And me? I just sipped my beer. Because Lisa thought she was smart. She thought she could fuck me over and win. Nah, sweetheart. You lost everything. The cops finally ended the call, and Greg sagged in his seat like a defeated man.
Lisa.
Still crying like a little bitch. And Richard turned to me, face still unreadable. Jack, he said. You pressing charges against my disgrace of a daughter? I grinned. Oh, Dick. You have no idea what's coming next. Lisa was on her knees, her perfect little world burning to the fucking ground around her. Greg was locked in the back of a cop car. His own wife about to divorce him into oblivion. Her father just disowned her. Her mother wasn't even defending her anymore. And me? I was about to finish her off. Richard turned to me, still fuming. Jack, what do you want to do with her? Lisa let out a choked sob. What? Dad. I'm not a piece of property. Richard didn't even look at her. You're nothing to me anymore, Lisa. I rubbed my chin, pretending to think. What do I want? Lisa crawled toward me on her hands and knees. Jack, please. I made a mistake. I still love you. I laughed in her face. Sweetheart. The only thing you love is not getting caught. Her face crumpled. Jack, I can fix this. Oh, that was cute. I crouched down, leveling her with a look so cold. She actually flinched. Fix it, I murmured. Lisa, you don't even know what's coming yet. She blinked, confused. And that's when I dropped the final bomb. Lisa, I said, voice smooth as silk. Did you forget? This is MY house. Lisa froze. What? I stood up, turning to the whole damn neighborhood because at this point, why the hell not? Hey, everyone, I shouted. Guess who owns this house? A few neighbors murmured to each other. I grinned. Me. Bought it 2 years ago.
Lisa.
She never put a dime into it. Lisa's mouth opened and closed like a fish out of water. Wait. Oh, and guess what? I cut her off. The divorce papers? They've already been drawn up. I had them ready for weeks. I just needed a reason to file. Lisa let out a strangled sob. No, no, no. Jack, please. I held up my phone and scrolled through my emails. And, oh look, my lawyer just filed them. Boom. The second I hit send, Lisa screamed. You can't do this to me. I can, and I just did. Richard, now smirking, turned to his wife. Diane, get in the car. We're done here. Diane nodded, stepping over her pathetic daughter like she was nothing more than trash on the pavement. Lisa watched in horror as her parents drove away, abandoning her forever. Michelle? Oh, Michelle was just basking in the glow of Lisa's destruction. Damn, she mused. This is the best reality show I've ever seen. And Greg? Greg was silent as hell, because he already knew his life was over too. Lisa turned back to me, voice breaking. Jack, I don't have anywhere to go. I leaned down, tilting my head. Not my fucking problem. And then I slammed the door in her face. That was the last time I ever saw Lisa Monroe. Within a week, she was homeless, broke, and a laughingstock. Greg lost his job, his wife, and his house. Michelle cleaned him out in the divorce. And me? Oh, I thrived. I sold the house for a massive profit, moved to a better city, and started dating a woman who actually valued loyalty. Lisa tried to call me once, months later. I didn't pick up, because I had already won.